Good morning, everyone. How are you today? It is November 4th at 11:32 a.m. This is MDB Modified Darvas Box, and I'm ready to do a weekend review video. Woo! Gotten up, had breakfast, worked out, got cleaned up, and all that is great because you got to give your brain a rest. And we're looking at charts fresh here this morning. It was a big week. Everyone is super excited. They're calling the new bull market, and maybe they're right, maybe they're wrong. I don't know. But the only way to look is to get into the charts and see what happens. Um, as a side note, yeah, I was a buyer, even though I tweeted a little bit of skepticism. Hey, when you see the stuff happening, I was in there buying also. So I'll show you the stock which I bought, and the reason should be quite clear because I've got a pretty consistent and repeatable process, and for finding signals and stocks to buy. And that's really what I want to encourage you is to look for and build your own system that's consistent and repeatable. So, anyways, let's get into it. We want to whip through this pretty fast. So, for anybody who has never watched me, um, my system is based on the book How I Made $2 Million in the Stock Market by Nicholas Darvas. I think it's one of the best books ever written for trading and investing. I've got my stocks here on 6 watch lists, and that's what we'll go through and have a look at. So list 1 here is indexes, and it always starts on the AMZ, which is MLPs. I own some MLPs in my income portfolio, and as you can see, we had a box breakout here. It moved up, a little bit of chop, some international stuff going on, but if you held on, then you've got a nice uptrend. And I buy these for income. So, yeah, I wasn't going to sell it here. Are you crazy? I might sell it if it broke the moving average, but everything's above my weekly moving average, so that's fine with me. For certain things, when you decide you're going to sit and just hold it, then using a weekly moving average is a good idea. Maybe even a monthly moving average. It all depends. All depends what your time frame is. But all right, let's get into it. So big week, a lot of movement. Sentiment got so low. In fact, let's just look at the sentiment here. Where is it? The NAM. Come on. So the NAM number, this is a survey, and NAM, you see, got here. Oh, look at that. It came up just a little bit. But I bet that's going to go up huge on next week's survey because I think the survey closes on Wednesday and they publish the results on Thursdays. But either way, you saw it go 66 and then down to 24. To me, that was a sign that people have really started to give up and started to bail. And that's where I started tweeting that we're probably due for a bounce. And other sentiment stuff was talking about a bounce, suggesting it also. Well, we got one, and we got a big one. So now the question is it going to stick? Is it going to be the beginning of something new? Or is it going to fizzle out and just be a bounce? We shall see. So right here, you can see ARK. Even ARK went up. Blue bar signal right here tends to indicate it's a positive signal, but it also tends to indicate extreme enthusiasm. And many times when extreme enthusiasm occurs, it means all the buyers that were sitting on the sidelines that wanted to buy, well, they logged into their account and they bought. And unfortunately, it tends to mean also that there's no buyers coming behind them. Like that was the peak. And you see great examples right here earlier in October, November. See these signals? Very exciting, but it fizzled out. Oh man. But it fizzled out right afterwards. Happened again here. We're going up, baby. We're back. Well, you had a blue bar signal, and what happened? It just went sideways. So the difference is interpretation. If this shows up after let's say a long sideways, well, then that might be a significant new buying opportunity. But in this case, we're going to see what happens. We really need to judge it, not by what happened this week, but we'll judge it by the trading action next week. Because who knows, it might keep ramping up here, or maybe go down, or just go sideways. We don't know yet. But other colors on my charts mean different things. Yellow bullish, light gray are inside bars. White is bearish. Pink is, well, you better pay attention. So that's a little primer on my colors. But what's interesting is I'm expecting to see a lot of these type of deals, because who in their right minds was sitting at home just going, man, I can't wait to buy ARK. I mean, come on, don't make me laugh. Okay, oil sideways, and I'm looking here on the right side. I'm looking for signals, stuff that'll tell me that there's a signal for a trade. Just for something like this, the Nasdaq right here went down 2 weeks in a row, fell out of the Darvas box, but volume was low, as we can see here, and whoop, it popped right back into the box. Well, that's exciting, but there's no actionable signal from what I'm looking at on the charts. It's nice that it went back in. People are feeling good again, but where's the trading signal? I don't see it. Where was the volume? If this is indeed the generational bottom and everything is going to turn here, well, where were all the buyers? I don't know. So that's where my instinct that it was the shorts getting cooked, might be right, or maybe it's wrong. I don't know, but we'll see. But let's look at this on the daily. Okay, there's a yellow bar buy signal right here. That was on Thursday. All right, so this trade might have a little bit of legs, but on the bigger picture, bigger time frame, when we zoom out, and time frames matter. If there's a signal on the monthly, it's more powerful than a signal on the weekly. If there's a signal on the weekly, it's more powerful than the signal on the daily. See what I mean? So let's take a look. Ethereum. Oh, yeah. Crypto's been hot. Let's close this box off because it's been a few weeks now. And we'll color it green because obviously it went up. I don't own crypto because this signal right here, that's what's called a shooter bar or an inverse hammer. Normally they're not bullish. Normally it indicates sort of potential reversal, but in this case, price kept going up. But I did not buy it, but it is bullish / positive. Uptrend. This one right here, FFTY. I'll close this one off to the downside. This is a proxy that tends to represent the growth stock sector. And as you can see, well, it went up, but all it did was have an inside week. So nothing there. Now, the way you play inside weeks is you basically draw it. It's like a mini box and draw lines across the top and the bottom. If price hits, you buy it. But that doesn't mean it's going to work every time, but that there is an actionable signal. If you want to buy this one, I wouldn't touch it because it broke downwards from its Darvas box and had a ton of sellers. So yeah, if you're going to buy a signal, it's better to do it when they're in uptrends. China doing nothing. This one I own, GBTC, Bitcoin. This is the one I did buy in crypto. Box breakout here, nothing too huge, but look at the volume really came in and price is going up. I like it. We're making money. Gold had a box breakout, sort of hanging out, but if you were considering gold, inside week right here, this here is an actionable signal. The way the world is going, I'm even thinking maybe it's time to buy a little bit of gold, but you don't know. But right here, inside week, actionable signal. The next week will determine whether there's a trade in there or not. Oh, high yield bonds, nice rebound. Look how depressed the market got. And high yield bonds, it's good when high yield bonds go up because they help confirm because they're very economically sensitive. Yellow bar buy signal, that's very interesting. Now, granted, we had a couple of them here and down here, and they fizzled out. So These signals are not guarantees, but if you want to trade something, wait for a signal. Here you go, IGV technology. Oh, big volume here, a yellow bar signal. Look at this. It broke downwards out of the box. Just shows how depressed investors were. Nobody does any fundamental work anymore. It's all, oh, what does the chart say? Well, the charts are wrong a lot, because stocks are supposed to reflect reality, and many people, forget that. As Darvas said, stocks are slaves to earnings. Well, people started bailing out here. Well, what are we supposed to do? We tend to follow the trend because maybe they're right. Well, in this case, some people may have gotten shake and baked. Shake and bake. But that's the tough thing about investing, is that when things get really hard like that, man, you get put to the test and you got to make a decision, and you hope you make the right decision. But here we go. Strong rebound. That's bullish and positive at the moment. But still going sideways in its Darvas box, which is interesting. So it's more like a recovery. Let's go back there. So even though this is a potential buy signal, it's also more just like a recovery. Is that a new bull market? Well, home builders, look at that. Big yellow bar buy signal. But again, it's simply recovered all this lost ground. If I sold up in here, if I sold at the 80, 81, I'd be really pissed. Like, why did I sell? But if you held, you went through 1, 2, 3, 6 weeks of hell. So I don't blame anybody for selling. But we'll see. Maybe they're thinking that if the Fed takes it easy on interest rates, people will flock back to buy houses. Well, signal, we'll see what the reaction to the signal is. Nothing there. That's no signal. That's nothing. IWM, Darvas box breakdown, and then boop, back up into the box. Decent volume. But again, that's like a recovery. I wouldn't call that a new bull market. What's this? Healthcare, inside wheat. Who cares? Nothing there. Yeah, recovery back into the box, but, is that a bull market? No. QQQs, yellow bar buy signal. Look how low volume is. Normally you'd want to see much bigger volume. RSP, that's recovering little, but didn't recover anywhere back up here. So again, it was all tech. Now this is interesting. This is the SHI, the 1 to 3 year Treasury bond fund. This is a good indication of inflation. When the SHI is going down like that, the Fed is raising rates. Now we've got a signal here. Does this mean that this is going to go back up, which means the Fed's going to cut? Well, we had a signal back here with the pop, and then it sort of went nowhere. I don't know. We'll see. But maybe inflation is finally getting under control here. Semiconductors, box breakdown, big volume, and then pop, back up into the box. Lots and lots of signals. Whether or not you want to trade them is an entirely different question. And some people who move fast on Thursday and Friday, yeah, you're in a good spot. I was a buyer, and the real test will be the buyers a couple of weeks from now. So this is the S&P 500. I was talking about back in beginning of October, where the heck are we going to end up for the year? And I kept thinking, well, maybe 4,000 based on the numbers and all that. But at the moment, with this rebound and this pop back up, yeah, maybe 4,000 is not the case. Maybe we're just going to end up at 42 or so. I don't know. We'll see. God help, we end up at 44, maybe. I'm skeptical, but, we've got, what's today? The 4th? We got a little less than 2 months to go, which would put it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. Okay, more like out here or so. Yeah, who knows? We'll see. Oh, we got to get a move on. We're already halfway in. Barely touched some charts. Ah, look at this. Sentiment. T2106, McClellan oscillator. Yeah, that's at contrary signal levels. So again, are we in a new bull market, or was this just a giant squeeze the bears short bounce, short covering bounce? Well, we'll find out. But traditionally, this is where you sell, and that would mean we hit the sell zone the day the move occurs. Interesting. Oh, rebound on this one, 200 day. And then this one, this is a chart I posted. T2108, percent of stocks above the 40-day moving average. I wrote, this isn't normal. Yeah, you don't get huge bars like this to rebound all of a sudden. Well, maybe right here. But look how big that was. Yeah, this is what keeps implying that yesterday's move was more shorts getting cooked than a brand new bull market. But I don't know. We'll see. No signals. TLT finally, all these green buyers finally starting to move the price higher. So bonds may have hit their highs. I was calling for 5%. 5.3%, and it looks like it barely made 5%. But who knows, the year's not over yet. Uranium moving higher. The VIX. Commercial real estate. After everybody's barfing it, puke 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then pops right back up. And right to the top, where all the sellers started selling. It's like, is there anything more irritating than that? God. I'd be so angry if I was selling that. Housing. Housing the same way. Look, it came right back to the Darvas, the low of the prior Darvas box. This is why shorting is so hard. Look at that. Now, is this going to keep going higher? I don't know. But isn't it funny how the market picks these levels where to trade to? Everything happens for a reason. XLE oil. Oh, XLF finance. There's that move in bonds right there. Oh, we'll see. All right, let's get into the individual stock lists. This is list 2. Big volume textbook box breakout. These are the ones that I feel hit the pattern, the precise Darvas box breakout pattern. And we got AMD here with a big strong breakout. We get a Darvas box which formed 3 weeks. 1, 2, 3. Breakout, big green volume. If you bought AMD, you should be making money right now. I did not take this trade because, in looking at trades, there's charts, technicals, and then there's fundamentals. And I got my handy little widget here for pulling up fundamental info. And this is something which I'm not too thrilled about right here. So we've got earnings per share, we're up 4%. Sales were up 4%. Is AMD a hot business right now? No, it's not. Look at this. Decline 25%, decline 47%, decline 45%. Oh, up 4%? That's like a toothpaste company. Now, granted, the 2024 estimate numbers show a rebound, and this is the 2023, which did forecast a decline. The sweet spot was like in here. Look at that. Up 100%, up 100%. And also 2017, 2018, up 200%. But honestly, I'd love to see earnings be up 100% rather than being up 4%. When we look at the AMD chart, yeah, AMD went up in here, but investors were buying minus 47% earnings. Now, granted, they are positive 60 cents, 58, 70 cents. So AMD is profitable. You know, they do make money, but their growth is just really slow. So is this going to be the bull which takes us to new highs? I don't know. As a trade, yeah, you should be making money, but you should be planning the trade for just in case so that you lock in profits and don't lose money. Doesn't matter what you trade, just don't lose money. All right, AMR. Okay, this one was on the list because it had this run. Now this run is coming off. Pretty much, this is just about, well, it's got a little bit more to go, but it's close to forming a box. Hasn't done it yet, so I'm going to keep it on this list, but it probably needs to be moved to a different list. I bought it here, sold it here, and you know that was a good sell. Sold it here because you see the inside week right here, and this was a good sell because look, price hasn't done anything since. So that's what makes me feel good as a trader. I read the chart and traded it to a profit. Let's see, here we go. ANET, box breakout, which is funny. The prior week it had a box breakdown, but it was right before earnings. Like, what are you supposed to do? Then here had the big giant breakout, and I did not buy it because this one is so tough to buy. But here's what it looks like on the daily. There's that huge gap up. You could have bought the gap, and now you're up like $10 or so. But the history of this stock is so hard. Look at this. Goes up, comes down, signal, breakout, oh, up, down. Now it's a steady up, but man, it's a headache. So I just think this one's really tough. It's positive, but tough. This one, the call, yeah, this one shouldn't even be here. There's potential box right in here. I'll probably have to redraw this later. Something like this. So we're going to move this one to list 6, watching. And that's what I do. I move stocks around. Here's one which I did buy. CCJ. This is uranium. What do we have here? We have a textbook Darvas box breakout. It had one back here, then sort of fizzled, powered back up. So a couple of selling signals here. If I had bought back in June, yeah, I would have been selling right here in September. But as time goes by, yeah, it recovered, had only one signal right here, and now here's the box breakout. This one was easy because you set alerts. You set alerts in here. But that's how trends get formed. So if you miss if you miss it here, you can always buy it again here. You could buy it here, sell here, see what happens, and then buy it back again. Some trends require you to buy a couple times. Now you could put your head in the sand and just hold it the whole time because you're a super bull. That's fine. But in that case, you better use a different metric like the moving average. You know, you'll ignore these two signals and instead you'll use the moving average. That's perfectly fine. But anyways, this is a new one I bought. Dash, I bought Dash. Big box breakout right here. Oh, I forgot to put the volume circle. I circle the volume when they're significant, when they happen at significant points. Box breakout. Here's where I bought. I bought after the giant gap up. Okay, you see there's the big earnings gap. So that's when I did go after. And so far, knock on wood, that trade's working. The Ethereum, yes, is the breakout I mentioned before. FRO on this list, box breakout, moving higher. I do not own that. GBTC on this list because it was a textbook breakout, moving higher. Geo, when I'm watching, it is moving higher, but man, Look at this. It keeps having all these long tails. The buyers keep saying, this stock's great. And the sellers keep saying, maybe. Look at that. If you draw a line there, there's your uptrend line. If you buy anything above that, that's how you can lose money in a bullish stock in an uptrend. By buying like 924 and then having it drop down to 904. And volume is sort of good, but not over the top. Because you got these bars behind here to judge against. So it's a medium uptrend, I would call it. PLTR, I bought PLTR. But notice here, it's a box breakout, but it's giving a blue bar signal. So I'm sort of a little hesitant on this one. I don't know if it's going to go higher or if the blue bar signal is, going to have it drop downwards and go sideways. Either way, I'm prepared to punch out of this if it does go contrary, and I'm prepared to punch out and, make sure I make money. Did the same thing here where I bought here, sold in here. Whatever happens, just make sure you walk away with a profit. All right, list 3. Let's speed this up. Amazon, yeah, it had earnings, but there's no real signal. I guess you could call this signal here the inside week and buy right here. Now, granted, if you are long Amazon, you might be following the moving average, which is fine. Notice here, it dropped below the moving average, but then fought its way back. So, in my opinion, the moving average is, now I use obscure moving averages that are a little different, but either way, the buyers, the bulls and bears, duked it out, and the bulls won. So overall, it's positive. Sell H. I rebought Sell H, even though it's deep here in the box, because we know that Sell H is, a leading stock, or has been. Yeah, it did come back down, but the sell volume wasn't all that huge, especially when you compare it to the big green volume bars. And so I had on the radar, we had the inside week level. I didn't trade it in these two, but now that we're on the comeback, I had alerts set for that top of the bar, and I was a buyer in there. Now, again, it's the blue signal. I don't know what's going to happen, but I've got a few bucks profit, so alerts are set, stops are in. I'm not going to lose money, that's for sure. Only way I can lose money on is if it's a giant gap down, which we don't want, and if we've chosen right, then it won't happen. Dell's looking pretty good. It's moving up to a possible box breakout. This is list 3, which shows bullish characteristics, bullish thrusts, etc. Stuff you want to keep an eye on. Here's one yellow bar signal, but it's sort of fizzled out a bit. Maybe use the weekly moving average. This one on the monthly, we looked at it on the monthly. You can see on the monthly view, it's still going sideways in a monthly box. So, why should you be super bullish on this one? There's a signal there, but that signal's kind of fizzled out, wouldn't you say? I would. Here's the other stock I bought, Netflix. Netflix gave a signal here. The reason why it stuck out was because we had signal here, failure, much bigger signal here. And to me, to have 2 of these in a row, that made it interesting. Now, I didn't buy the week after because I knew the history of these when it's a blue signal. But once the market turns, I had alerts set, and I was like, oh yeah, we're going to buy some. Because it's showing bullishness weeks before when everything else is selling downwards. That's why it caught my eye. And I am long that one also. Still bearish, ELF. Goes from first to worst. Wonderful uptrend, and now they can't wait to sell it. But look what's happened right here. This is interesting. So these are all my trades in ELF. I made some money, but not a ton. Here's the sell signal right here, inside week. If you had taken that one, you avoided the big white bar signal, and it was a mess ever since. But this is what's interesting. Huge volume bar at the bottom of the box. And when you see huge volume and yet the bar sort of closes near halfway, buyers are stepping in. They're defending this. This might be a great spot here at 96 or the low 90s. Anything right here, this may be a great spot for a buy because buyers are finally stepping up. Now, I have not bought this, but this is on my radar for next week. Let's take a look at the daily. Yeah, look at this battling out. They're duking it out in here. Sellers here. No, the buyers finally come in. They had earnings. That's what you're looking for when you're analyzing volume. Huge volume. Price movement doesn't move as much. Buyers are finally stepping up. I'm going to change this to bullish. And that's how interpreting charts will give you an edge. Tesla was bearish here. White bar sell signal. I tried to short it. It didn't work. I gave up. Because volume was low. Just didn't feel like a high probability trade. And now we've got a rebound back into the box. But look at that. The volume bar is really low. There's much better trades out there. Workday, nothing special. All right, list 5. These are the box breakdowns. These should be these were the most bearish stocks, avoids. But when we get a huge week like this, if it was the bears getting cooked, I'm expecting to see big bars, big movement here. Because usually the crappiest stuff moves the biggest. And right here, see we got AOI, big move. Well, that's a new bull market. I don't know. But if you bought it here at 7, you're loving it at 9. Interesting. Apple, no big signal. Still going sideways. Still looks like crap here. Oh, this is the funny thing. Everybody's saying, oh, we're making money again. Well, what about the people who lost their asses here? White bar signal told you get the frack out, and look where it went down to there. God, what an ass kicking! All this uptrend gone to waste. On to the next. This one I was tracking. Maybe a signal there, but this has earnings coming up here. There's far better. If this one had a big giant green bar like over here, then it'd be much more interesting. But in this case, nope. Rebound back into the box. A little bit there. Nothing here. Oop. Haha, Bill. I tweeted about this one. This one is so overvalued at still at $10 billion market cap. God. This is the price to sales, where price to sales is so off the charts, you can pass out unconscious. And I don't think the future here on this stock is as good as the past. Here we go, housing, supply. Yeah, it's a rebound, but it's just a recovery. Everybody's all excited over a recovery. It simply recovered all the ground that was lost when it crapped out. That's it. That's not a new bull market. Oh, that's kind of interesting on Bros, the coffee. Either anybody who's bullish on Bros now bought and there's nobody left to buy, or maybe that's a better signal. I think probably if anything's going to be down next week, it'll be this one. But we'll see. coin, yellow bar signal. No volume that I can see. Next. Crocs, inverse hammer. Excuse me, not inverse. This is a hammer pattern right here. Bulls finally stepped up here. This might be a buy. Just put it here. If price goes above, let's say 90 bucks, buy it. Because the bulls finally stepped up here. Now, if it doesn't hit 90, don't buy it. There's your trigger right there. Now, I'm not really all that interested in Crocs. Let's take a look at it on a monthly chart. It's not really doing anything. But this might be a good spot if the numbers finally start moving again. Let's take a look here on the handy extension. If you're interested in this tool, I might be willing to tell you where to find it. Crocs, up 11%, $1 billion in sales. But look at this, the EPS numbers, they're just slowing down. 163, 103, 38, 45, 20, 23, 27, 11. Does everybody who wants Crocs, have they now bought Crocs? Maybe. And in that case, this business may just be going sideways. So, oh, that's oil, but that had the big M&A. Look at D-Dog. Wasn't this the hottest stock ever a year ago? Now we had a box breakdown, and on the huge rebound day, it did nothing. Sure, it's got big green volume, but all sellers did, the buyers that showed up, the sellers simply said, here you go. Still bearish. Wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. Signal, but do you really want to be buying this one? Nah. Okay, ENPH, solar. Right here we've got a hammer bar on big volume. Traders, investors, the big institutions have been puking the stock up. Their other buyers have been stepping up saying, this is the time. This might be a tradable signal here. I hate to say it. Solar might actually be a tradable long signal here. Can't believe I'm saying that. But that's what the charts say. So, what level is that at? If ENPH goes higher than, call it 85, buy it. That'd be a good probability trade. Because you see, the buyers, even though it's got red bars, the buyers have been stepping up. Who's buying all this? Who's buying everything that's being sold? They're saying, at 300 we don't like it. At 200 we don't like it. At 100 we don't like it. At 80 bucks we might like it. 10 billion is way better than, God, this thing was trading for like $40 billion market cap. It's just insanity. But maybe this is I may even have to buy some. God, can you believe that? After I trashed it all? We'll think about it. But a signal is a signal. In fact, you know what? I got to put this on a different list. Bullish signals. Unbelievable. Ford Motor Company, this is horrible. But automotive is upside down. For solar, nice rebound. I shorted for solar from here down to in here. And look at this. The red bars, sure, there's a bunch of them, but they were never all that big. And the green bars are still much bigger. So I've got a feeling solar in general might be hitting a bottom here. But here's the difference. You may say, I want to buy for solar, but the real signal is on ENPH. That's a much more clear signal than FSLR. Rebound, but nobody should buy Fastly. Recovery trade, recovery week, back into the box. Volume's kind of muted, blue bar. That may be all she wrote. All the buyers that wanted it just bought it. So who's left to buy? I don't know. Google, big sell down here, but then rebound, forms an inside week. Maybe it goes a little higher, but look at this. If Google starts turning down again, your chance to get out of it will be at 123. That's for big institutions too, you know. I could be an institutional investment manager, but nobody would hire me. INQ right here, recovery week, but didn't even get back into the box. Yeah, that one's past its prime. I'm sorry. Oh, same deal here. Blue, lots of signals, but you know, everybody who loved this trade now has bought. Who's left to buy? Might go down again. This is interesting. I like Monday, but it's got earnings coming up real soon. If one was to buy options on this, that would be the way to do it. But I don't really buy options. But there's a potential tradable signal. We'll put this on the bullish list. But buying right in front of earnings is so hard. So I don't recommend buying that one. But there may be a trade in there. Net, so many signals. I avoid net. This market cap is just too high. So every time it makes a positive move, it'll attract sellers. It's just not going anywhere. Yeah, chips. Look at this. This has been going down since June, and finally the bulls stepped in. But that's a low? The low? Who knows? This one, box breakdown, looks ugly. Look at this. There was a guy on Twitter who roasted me by saying this company was so great and blah blah blah. Yeah, it's done well, but look how much it's given up. It's given up almost 50% off the top in a few weeks. No stock is perfect. Well, few are. Let's put it that way. Yeah, nothing going on here. Isn't it interesting to see the stocks that had big moves versus the ones that did nothing? Did nothing. Yellow bar, signal, Qualcomm, that's recovery. No interest. You know, if you really like Qualcomm, maybe for the dividend, you might buy this or whatever, but yeah, nothing. Rig, unfortunately, that's no real turnaround, and the box is done. All right, I've taken way too much time on this, but it's worth it because so much happened this past week, and everybody's all excited, talking about it, and meanwhile, from the charts here, are you feeling the excitement based on the charts and signals I'm showing you? I'm not feeling it. Roku, big recovery, lot of volume, yellow bar buy signal. It recovered all this lost ground. Maybe that's a long signal. If you bought it somewhere lower, oh yeah, definitely hold it. See what happens. Overall, green, 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 green. This one probably has better odds of sticking. But here's the one thing. Price, when it got this high, up to here, we had an inverse hammer bar here, an inverse shooter hammer bar here. You know, traders or investors rejected it above, call it here. Above this line, investors were selling it. So maybe this is all the move. But we'll see we'll gauge this in the future. If this ramps up to like 100, okay, then I'd say all that analysis I just did is wrong. But until it happens. Shop, nice move. Back into the box. Is that a breakout situation? No, it's not. I would call that a recovery situation. Another recovery situation here. Pink bar. This one's either going to go up or this is going to start crashing. Darn it. I always like this one. Look at this. Here, TMDX been going down like it's sinking to the bottom of the ocean. Finally, you get a bullish signal here. So maybe that's more of a bottom, but yikes. You know, there's better places to put my money. Uber. Okay, Uber, I like this one. It held steady, going sideways during all that commotion. Finally succumbed to the selling pressure. Everybody's talking bearish. Everybody's depressed, so it finally sells off. Breaks the weekly moving average, and what does it do? It immediately goes, nope, whoop, back up, and it's near the top of the box. Yellow bar buy signal. This one, I always liked it, and we're going to put this back in the bullish signal list. If anything has potential, Uber has potential to be a box breakout. That's how you got to practice discernment. All right, we're taking way too long on this. Let's wrap this up. There's a box in here somewhere. I'll put it in later. There's no real trades that I see in there. All right, last list. The chip giant, Broadcom. What did it do? It's still going sideways. But that's pretty amazing relative strength. When everything was selling downwards, this one was just going sideways. So if you're a big fund or if you own that, you should just keep owning it. No reason to sell. Here we go, box breakout, but volume to low. Berkshire, yellow bar buy signal. What's good for Berkshire is good for America. Recovery, oh, that one, nothing. Whoa! CFLT, Confluent. One of the ones that everybody loved. Look at the monthly chart. Monthly chart's doing nothing. And it had an earnings that's just hideous. Look, it's been in a weekly box for almost 2 years. I don't see any reason to be looking at this one. What one is this? Oh, nothing here. Carvana. I was saying in the last week video, probably a bounce would occur here. And yeah, look what happened. Bounce. But is this the type of bounce we want? A blue bar? No. Again, reminder, the blue signal tends to be a peak in exuberance. So if this little move is already the peak, I'm not sure how much gas is left in the tank at Carvana, but we'll see. The only saving grace on this, again, there are no big red sell bars. Green, 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 etc. DKNG, here we go. Here's a box breakout. I should change this on the list. Box breakout. Oh! Box breakout, and put this here. Sideways. It's amazing how some stocks do nothing. Sideways, sideways. There we go, box breakout, but that's Microsoft. Low volume though. NVIDIA. Recovery moving up, but they got earnings on the 21st. Where are all the investors? Where are all the traders? How come they didn't pile into NVIDIA? Well, we'll see. This may have sucked the life out of it, but we'll see. This could be quietly setting up for an giant earnings breakout. But, we don't know. Wait and see. It's a week, nothing here. Last one's, PLTR. This one's already on a different list. Rambus, yeah, box breakout. Yeah, that's a textbook one. So I'll move it to the list, even though I don't think I'd be buying it. Yeah, a rebound here, but blue signal, snow. Sting moving up, and URI. This stock is always good. If the economy is doing good, this stock should be doing good as well. So nice to see a nice rebound here. So anyways, that's the review. Sorry it took so long. A lot of signals to go through. So you decide. Is this the beginning of the brand new bull market? Or is this more of a recovery move that we just had? I don't know. We'll find out next week. So have a good weekend. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.